Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Kat, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can transform an old thrifted Hawaiian shirt into a crop top and shorts. Keep watching for more. Here's what you'll need. 1 large or extra large Hawaiian print tee, a pair of shorts that fit well, 1.5-inch wide elastic, the length depends on how wide your hips are, a sewing machine and thread, scissors or a rotary cutter, a ruler and measuring tape, a tailor's chalk or a pencil, some pins, and an iron. Something optional would be a serger, if you have one. Let's get started. First, you want to try on the shirt and find out how short you want the crop top to be. Keep in mind you need enough fabric for the shorts, and just mark that with a pin. And here I'm just laying it flat and buttoning it up. Now I'm measuring from the bottom of the shirt to that pin to see what my measurement is. Mine came out to be 14 inches from the bottom. And then just mark that measurement across the whole front of the shirt. Now I'm just connecting the marks that I made to make a straight line across the front. And then I'm just going to do the same exact thing to the back of the shirt, measuring 14 inches from the bottom. And then just connecting those marks that I made again. Now I'm just pinning the facing down so that it lays flat while I'm cutting it. You can use scissors or a rotary cutter, which is what I'm going to use for this. And if you are using a rotary cutter, make sure you use a mat underneath. And don't underestimate that blade. I've definitely cut myself once or twice using this. And I just set the top aside, and I'm using a seam ripper to take the buttons off of the bottom part of the shirt. You could also use scissors for this if you don't have a seam ripper. And then I'm just going to take the facing off as well. You can just cut this off, but I decided to just seam rip it. Save that piece for later. Now on the other side there are buttonholes, so I decided to just cut the facing off. Now I'm just going to take a pair of shorts or pants, in my case, that fit me well and make a pattern out of that. I'm not going to show you how to make one in this video, but if you'd like to know how to make a pattern out of shorts or pants, comment below and let me know. So I'm just laying the bottom part of the t-shirt flat and taking the front and folding it so that the side seams are together. And just make sure that they're lining up. This is going to be the front and back of the shorts. Take your front short pattern and put it on top of the fabric. Make sure the bottom of it lines up with the bottom of the fabric. You don't need to worry about the side of the shorts. We're just worrying about that curve in the front. And just pin it down. Make sure you're pinning through both layers of the fabric. And then just cut it out following the pattern. And then you're just going to do the same thing with the back of the shorts on the other side. Again, making sure you're lining up the bottom of the pattern with the bottom of the fabric. And then separate the two layers of fabric. Going to be the front of your shorts. Now lay out the two layers of fabric, right sides together. Make sure the front is with the front and the back is with the back. And then just pin together the two layers of fabric on the curve. Just up to that point. And then you're going to want to sew it down and do it on the other side. And then you can unfold it and make sure the center seams are together. And then you're just gonna pin that crotch area. And make sure you open the seams in the center. And then you're just gonna sew it. Now you're just going to want to flip it inside out. And using an iron, just press the seams open like this. And then you don't have to do this, but my fabric frays a lot, so I just decided to serge the seams. And if you don't have a serger, you can use a zigzag stitch on your sewing machine. And then I'm just pressing it again to lock the stitches. Now you're going to take your elastic band that fits around your waist, and you're going to use it as a guide to see how far you should fold over the top of your waist. And you want to make sure you have at least ½ an inch lower than the waistband for seam allowance. And then you're just going to pin it. Make sure the seams are lined up. And you're going to do this across the entire waist of your shorts. You want to keep making sure that you have at least ½ an inch. And then I'm just going to press it with an iron. Now again, I decided to serge the edges, but you could fold it over if you have enough fabric. And I'm just pinning it down again. And you're just going to sew around the waistband with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. And make sure you leave an opening at the end so you can insert the elastic. Now I'm just taking the elastic and using a safety pin, attaching it to one of the ends. And then I'm just going to insert that side into the little hole that we left open in the waistband. And then you just want to pull the elastic through, and the safety pin should help with that. So I'm just bunching up the fabric and then pulling it through. And I'm just going to keep repeating that until I get it through all the way to the other side of the waistband. And then just pull it through the opening. And make sure the other end doesn't go inside the waistband. And then you're just going to sew the two ends together flat like this. And it's about 1/2 inch overlap. And I'm just going to pin it down to keep it in place. Sew a box around this, so you're going to start at the top on one side and make sure to back stitch, and then you stop and then turn it and then make the bottom corner, and then you're going to turn it again and then sew up. And then close up the box. I'm just going to pull the elastic a little bit so that it all goes inside. And then I'm going to sew this opening shut. Also going to sew down across the back seam just to keep it more stable. Then you're going to want to stretch out the elastic to even it out. And then I'm going to sew down the front seam and the two side seams as well. So now back to the crop top. I'm taking this extra fabric that I cut off, and I also cut off the collar of it, so I'm going to use that as well. And I'm going to use it to lengthen the crop top because it was a little too short for me. So I'm just measuring it, and then I'm going to cut it to size. Make sure you have at least 1/2 inch seam allowance on each side. And then I just copied that to the other piece of fabric. So that'll be for the front. And then I didn't have a piece long enough to go across the entire back, so I'm using these 2 strips. Again, there's a 1/2 inch seam allowance on each side. And then make sure the right sides are together, and then you're just gonna sew it up the middle. I'm serging it here, but again, you don't have to. You can use a sewing machine. And here's that back piece. And then I'm taking one of the front pieces and lining it up with the side seams and making sure that the right sides are facing together. And then I'm just gonna pin it down on the side. And then I'm gonna do the same with the other piece of fabric on the other side. Again, these are your front pieces that we're laying on top of the back piece. And you're just going to want to sew that up. Now I'm going to lay the center of the back to the center of the strip we just made. And then I'm going to pin that together, right sides together again. And then you're going to want to line up the side seams with the side seams. And I'm just pinning down the facing. And then I'm going to fold over the ends and pin that down. And then I'm going to do the same to the other end. Folding it over just like this, so that when you sew it and you flip it over, it'll be a clean edge. And then you're just sewing that down and flipping it over. And you can see that folding it over makes a clean corner on the edges. And I'm just going to press the seam allowance down. And I'm also folding over the hem 1/2 inch and then sewing that up to finish. And you're done. So now you have this cute pair of shorts and crop top that can go really cute together, or you can wear them separately. I think this crop top would be really cute with a pair of high-waisted jean shorts as well. Thanks for watching. Please like and share this video and subscribe for more.